Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Shine the Light. My name is Aldous Collins. You're here on the Quincy Urban Arts District page, and today our guest is Donnie Norton. We've been doing these little spotlight, Shine the Light series to, give a little love to people that are moving and grooving in the South Shore, Quincy area and beyond. And really excited to talk to Donnie today. It looks like a couple people are tuning in, so thanks so much for tuning in. Awesome. So when I see Donnie come on, I'll invite him into this little chat, and then we'll hear all about Donnie's world. Oh, here he is, and what he's up to. Thanks, run, sing, repeat. Cool. Hi, Katie Riley. Let me see. Donnie, I just invited you, so let's talk, my friend. I'm just waving to people. I love that. Look at
Hey,
he's outside in his natural habitat, looking beautiful, smiling.
oh, get out of here.
What's up, brother?
Dude,
How are you?
I'm good, man. It's a great day. It's like the first day we haven't been living on the sun
Oh yeah,
in the last 4 or 5. So it's nice to be back outside and chilling out and good to see you, man.
good to see you too. Yeah. So yesterday, we've been really fortunate. Everybody that I've talked to so far on the Shine the Light series has been really nice and cool, and it was refreshing to talk to you yesterday. You got a lot of nice energy. You seem like a great guy.
Well, thank you, man. I've enjoyed the whole Shine the Light series. I think my biggest concern today was coming on and knowing that my arms over here aren't gonna stack up to what Andre was showing off 2 weeks ago. Oh
Oh,
man,
oh, I
what a guy! I mean, such a cool guy. I really enjoyed that listening to him and all the inspiring things that he's doing.
Well, you have tons of inspiring stuff. I mean, I love Andre. I love everybody's been on. I think Can of Corn, Zach's on here. He did an awesome job. He actually
Yeah,
just did a takeover, which we're doing these takeovers too. And Zach did a great job last week at Self Made Design, his place doing shirts. Maybe you could actually do one with the kids or something, and just talk a little bit about your routine, and like, you could do a quad takeover, and that might be cool.
oh yeah, we'd love that, and I know the kids would flip for it. Any chance they get to talk about what they're doing and their art and the things that inspire them, they jump all over. So absolutely, man.
Well, today is all about celebrating you and your world and what you do, and like I said yesterday, just talking to you for a little bit because that was the first. I mean, all your communications have been really good. You're on the ball, like you're a responsible, nice, respectful guy. I love that. Like you're. I mean, that's it. Whatever. First off, I love that about you. But as far as like, the vibe you're putting off too, it seems like you're doing a lot of cool things. So why don't you just kind of explore a little bit of what you're up to right now, man?
Sure, man. Thank you. First of all, I know mom and dad, if they're out there listening, they'll be proud to hear that. Um, so basically, I am an educator here in Weymouth, and I have the good fortune to run the Weymouth High Theater Company for the last. We're going into our 11th year running the program at Weymouth High, and I get to run it with my wife, who owns a dance studio in town, and a couple of my very best friends who have really dedicated their lives to making sure that the kids in Weymouth get the kind of arts education that every single kid deserves because it is so incredibly life changing. So, overall, that's our biggest thing. I teach in a regular classroom every day. Well, hopefully in a regular classroom at some point along the line over the course of the next few months here. And we're just really tied to this community, my wife and myself, and the arts and the things that they do for kids, lifelong, not just in that moment, but how that really kind of changes the course of your entire worldview and your entire life. On top of that, I'm out there singing as much as I possibly can. I've been with the same band, the new band, for the last 12 years, and I do a solo gig where I'm doing Sinatra and Dean Martin and kind of some really throwback crooner stuff and mixing in some fun stuff too. And just being immersed in an arts world is my daily basis. And we'll get into it later on. But when I was a kid growing up, man, I never in a million years thought that this would be the path for me. But now that it is, I love it, and I couldn't imagine my life any other way. It's given me so much.
So interesting. So Amy, who she's on our Quincy Urban Arts team in Fox
Yeah.
Rock, and she's awesome. She's your friend, and she suggested you. And the more I'm listening to you, and I'm kind of taking in who you are, like I have a pretty deep voice, but I think your voice might be deeper than mine. And she says you do a killer Barry White, and I know you said you weren't going to be playing anything or anything, but maybe you could give it
Yeah.
just a little touch
Oh,
of the
yeah.
Barry White.
Just a little bit of, I heard people say that too much of anything is not good for you, baby. Oh, wow, but I don't know about that.
I love it. I love it, man.
Oh, it's fun, man. I did that I actually sang that at her wedding, at the wedding reception. She was like, will you please sing Barry White at my wedding reception? I was like, absolutely.
Oh,
Whatever you want, Amy.
that's pretty cool. So, you're a singer. You're doing these classic styles like Sinatra and stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
see that you play like looks like you're getting out a little bit already right now, even with COVID and stuff. And you're playing at Poor Yard and looks like Greenside Grill.
Yeah.
And so, is your band out now or no?
So basically, no. Right now we are on hiatus, save for if some of the municipalities around do some of the big outdoor stuff, we'll jump back in. We're the band that plays the fireworks in Weymouth every year for the last 10 years.
Oh, cool.
We just played I think our last outdoor gig was in February before all this hit at the President's Day celebration right outside of City Hall in Quincy. So we were
Oh,
the
cool.
band outside for that, and they set up some heaters for us, which was really nice. But right now, things, are a little bit more quiet with the band. But with everybody opening up outside, venues and seating and things like that, it's really kind of opened up a little bit more for the solo thing. So yeah, I was at the Poor Yard in Quincy, which is such a cool spot to
Mm.
hang out. You can bring your puppies, you can bring your kids, and hang out and have a great little meal and a nice bite. I'm over at Ocho Cafe tonight to celebrate National Tequila Day on Route 53 in Weymouth. So singing outside, and in the summertime, man, if it's as long as it's not blazing crazy heat outside, singing outside's the best. And I've
Yeah.
always kind of looked at it and said, music has been such a huge part of my life for so long, but I said if it ever became a job, I would quit. It's not a job. It's just I love it. It's still something that I'm super passionate about sharing with people and meeting people out in the community. So, and especially during these times, you need a little bit of a distraction and a little bit of fun. So the last couple outdoor shows have been fun, and it's so beautiful out. So I'm looking forward to another good one tonight.
Oh, cool. So you also said something that your coworkers, partners, however you were describing them, that helped you with the theater club. One's your wife.
Yeah.
Now she has her own studio in Boston.
She,
What's
she has
that?
her own dance studio
Yep.
in Weymouth.
Oh, cool.
It's called Center Stage Dance Company. She's been in business. She's going into her 26th year
Oh, wow.
of business. She started, she says she started when she was 5 years old, but she started this business when she was in college. She was a theater major, and she was a dancer since the time she was very, very young. And she just decided, what I want to do with my life is bring the joy of dance to as many kids as possible and really make it about the kids. So 26 years ago, she opened Center Stage Dance Company here in Weymouth and has been crushing it ever since. I mean, has changed the lives of thousands of kids.
Oh, that's awesome. Is that her that just signed on, Jean?
That is her, yeah.
Oh,
I
hi,
gotta
Jean. What's happening?
So yeah, so she owns a dance studio, and and it's in Weymouth. We live in the town of Weymouth. We both work in the town of Weymouth, and we're really, I mean, we're connected to this community in so many ways. Our kids go to school here, so uh, being able to get up every day and know that the things that we're doing, the things that she's doing, is for the betterment of all the kids in the town. That makes us smile. It's nice to bump into families at the grocery store and the
Mm.
soccer field and the baseball field and stuff like that. So
I have a question for you. I think with acting, it's it's one of those things that the confidence that you must be giving these kids and the life lessons by being able to not. I mean, I look at like performing. It's a little different. I play music, but like it's a different thing. But there's a little tie-in, but I'm not comfortable enough. It's kind of like with Andre. It was on 2 weeks ago. It's like, well, I tried to do his Zumba class, and I was like, I don't know. I feel this is a little crazy, so it didn't feel like I wasn't totally comfortable with it. But that's because of my own whatever insecurities or whatever. But with the kids, and I think about acting, it's a similar thing. Um, it's a pretty beautiful thing to like not care what anybody thinks and express yourself and focus, and there's a lot involved in it. So you like focusing on, I mean, it's just a really cool thing, and I wonder what your perspective is on you know how these kids are changing as or
yeah,
evolving as they become part of your world. Because what age do you start seeing these kids at?
so the theater program at the high school that we run, our main program, the Weymouth High Theater Company, is for grades 9 through 12. But we also, my wife and I, run a summer theater camp. That this is actually our 21st year
Oh wow.
running this. We took a little break in the middle when we started to have our own kids, but this is the 11th year in a row, and that starts with kids entering first grade. And Gene with the studio, with the dance studio, starts seeing kids at 3 years old. So we see kids from 3 to 63, 73, 83. Anybody who wants to be involved with us in the number of different things that we do gets to be. Um, but the change that we see, I think some of the most important things about theater education and some of the most important things about the kids experiencing these times together revolve around the fact that, like, you think about when you were in school, Aldous, and when I was in school, and the the stereotype of who went to what was called the drama club, back in the day. And it was, people always say, oh, the drama club is where the freak kids go. The drama club is where the gay kids go. The drama club is where these kids don't have any other friends and they're in the drama club. And I've always, when people have kind of expressed that idea to me, I've always kind of stopped them and said, well, why? Why do these kids that you are pointing out, that you say socially don't fit with whatever your norm is, why do they wind up in the drama club? Why do they wind up in the theater? And I think that what we need to pull out of that is that that's because the arts, the theater, is inherently open and inherently welcoming. Um, the theater company is completely inclusive. If you want to be a part of it, you get to be a part of it, and you get to be you in a part of it.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking for you to be something else. in order to access what it takes to be a performer in theater or in musical theater or in dance, you have to connect with someone who is not you, a character that you are playing, to make what you are saying, what you are doing, seem like it is just coming out of you intrinsically, because you are, in fact, somebody else. And in order to be able to try on all these other feelings and try on these, um, sorry, big gardening truck, try on these other people, you have to begin to build a little bit of being comfortable with who you are. And in the theater community, anyone is welcome to walk through the door, and you
Mm,
have to be accepted for who you are. So we've always kind of talked about the fact that it's always been a haven for someone who felt that they didn't fit anywhere else, because our job as artists is to make sure that every person that walks in the door knows that they fit here, exactly who they are, exactly how they want to be, and exactly who they want to become.
mm.
So I think that's why you see, or in our history, people have always talked about those kids that didn't have somewhere else gravitating and fitting in the theater. And now that I think that we've worked really hard to establish that everybody fits mentality, now what we're seeing is some of those kids who wanted to be there, but were afraid to say that they wanted to be, now have a soft landing place. It's easier for them to come in. The more the arts grow, the more people are empathetic to the feelings of others, the more kids that are allowed to come in and give it a shot. And one of our alumni, Nate Cordry, who is a working actor out in LA, he's on the new Perry Mason on HBO right now. And he's been one of my best friends since we were kids. He ran a Zoom workshop for our theater company
Oh,
this
cool.
summer. And he said specifically that, he said, it's so important for kids to be able to come in and try on all of these different feelings, to try on being angry with your mom, to try on being jealous of somebody else's boyfriend, to try on being being upset that you were usurped for something that you really wanted, because only a fraction of these kids are going to go on to do this professionally. But every single one of these kids who gets to try on these feelings, they're going to experience them in real life, and being able to understand maybe how you personally react to those feelings because you got to try them on as somebody else. That's one of the most important lessons that we can give to kids, that it's okay to have these feelings. How do you want to deal with them in your life going forward?
Mm. Well, wait a second. Is this the real Donnie Norton, or is this a character? I'm just kidding.
This guy right here, yeah, right.
Yeah.
um yeah, I think that's, I know I've changed,
Mm,
and the more that I have been a director, the more that I have changed as a person. I know being an actor growing up, being a performer growing up, completely changed me. And then in the last 10 years, where I've taken on this role as director of all of these other actors, that's changed me even more.
mm.
Thinking about how, instead of just thinking about myself and how does this role impact me and what am I doing, and why am I trying to achieve a specific goal, it's really brought into focus for me, how are these activities helping to shape the lives of these kids? How are these kids who are going to go on to be us very soon? And they've already started impacting the world, but how does being part of this arts world help to shape them for the future?
Well, I love the aspect of it being open and inclusive and just a nice little a safe haven, I guess. But one thing that's interesting about it being open for people who may be looking for someplace to feel okay. I love the fact that at the same time, it takes massive courage, and it's like a fearless task to be an actor. I think. I
Yeah.
think. I mean, that would be a thing that I think is a lesson forever. That these kids that may have all the confidence at first, maybe they don't, some don't, but they must walk out of it in a stronger, more self-confident way because they've seen a world where they can, be okay. And that's kind of what we all need to do is put out something that allows people to feel safe and okay. And I think that's the way you described it to me is kind of how I remembered it as a kid. And because I'm older now and I haven't been in high school drama, but it's like around it for years, and I look back and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of how it felt. And I love the idea that you're really pushing and making a nice place for these kids to really thrive and do something cool. And yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, thank you, man. Like I think we talk about what theater does, what the arts teach, and in my opinion, they teach us the two most humanizing qualities that we possess. You can't be involved as an artist. You can't be involved in the theater without growing your introspection. That second to stop and look inside yourself and think, how do I feel about this? I need to get to know me in order to get to know somebody else. And then the arts teach us how to be empathetic, to be able to, that the adage of walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. You don't necessarily have to agree with every opinion, and gosh, I mean, we see that there's no way to avoid, in the world we're in right now, clashes of opinion. But it's so important to be able to stop for a second and, instead of harshly immediately react, turn that empathy on and think, okay, let me process, what is it that I want to say? How do I want to say it in order to try to make a positive impact? And in order to do that, you have to have a little bit of empathy, and theater grows that in leaps and bounds. And that's why it's so important that it gets embedded into curriculums for kids who are, 4, 5, 6 years old, and not just all the way up at the high school and
So,
beyond.
so you do a summer camp that's been ongoing for, you said, 21 years. Is that right?
Yeah,
Is that right?
21
And then
years.
you've been at Weymouth High for 11.
So I've been teaching in Weymouth for 20 years. I've been running the
Okay.
theater program with my team, the Weymouth High Theater Company staff, for the last 11 of those years.
Who are those other people that are on your staff that help you, your teammates?
Yep. So
Your wife.
So my wife, who is the choreographer for all of our musicals and a consultant on everything else that we do. One of my best friends, Greg Bryant, who was in the theater program with me when we were kids. That's how we
Cool.
first met, when we were freshmen in high school. And he is our technical director. He runs our full stage crew and set building and all that sort of stuff. Our good friend Sue Kelly, who is our costume designer. She oversees our kids that run the costume design team, the hair and makeup team. Our friend Shane Hennessy, who does sound and light tech work for us, who started off as one of the kids in the theater program before we officially took over. When the lady that was running the program before was running it, he was a kid in that program, got to know us, started doing our summer with us, and then we invited him to be part of the staff because he's such a positive influence on the kids. And then my friend Sarah Seals, who is also an educator. She used to be a music teacher in Weymouth. Now she is the chorus teacher at Bishop Feehan High School, and she's our music director, and she also plays in the band with me.
That is a big team.
Yeah, so there's this crew of people that come together for these students. And Aldous, when you talk about that being a big team, I mean, realistically, yes, that is the staff.
Hmm.
And then our Mitchell Schneider, who's another alumni is a construction captain. He helps out with our building. But beyond that, we're talking about 40, 50 parents that are
Yeah.
part of our booster organization. So many of these parents, their kids graduated 4 or 5 years ago, and they keep coming back every single year to be a part of this. This is so much more in our lives now than just the uh, the theater company that takes place in the walls of the high school. The support for these kids, the support for their art and this program, it's just it's mind blowing all the time how many people are around to make this such a great place for these kids, and how many people give so much of their time freely. And even after they've given more than you think they could, they give me a call and say, what else can I do? How else can I be of service to all of these kids in this organization? So,
Well, what a beautiful thing to be able to like do something you love and help young kids to inspire them and bring them up in a world and let them feel confident and explore something that could be beautiful to them too. I mean, I really love it. I love the idea that you know, from the inside, hearing how the environment, which would seemingly be, but is, open and loving, and I like it. It's just it seems to me that you must have a lot of very rewarding days. Not that it's not hard, but must be very rewarding. And as you're telling me all this stuff, I don't know how many you have, but I have a feeling you have two kids.
yeah,
Am I
two
right?
boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, two boys.
And how old are they?
So my son Zach is 18. He just graduated from high school this year, and our son Alex is 14. He's actually going to be a freshman come this fall.
So how have they reacted to your role in being so prominent in the community and being around all these kids? And has it been something that they, dabbled with?
They know they can't get away with crap around here because everywhere they go, somebody knows who they are.
Yeah.
If they know my wife, or they know me, or they know the theater company. But honestly, so another thing that has made this incredible for us over the last number of years is both of our boys have chosen to be a part of this world. Like, this
That's
is, see, so uh, I grew up as a sports kid. I didn't find theater until very later. I was actually almost kind of forced into it. I can tell you that story at some point. But our boys both grew up as sports kids and theater dance kids because they chose it. So for them, they've been involved in every production that we've done, even when in the high school level, before they were old enough. Zach was running around in little pajamas when we were first working up at the high school, and just had this gigantic crew of older brothers and sisters who were like, can we pick them up and take them out to friendlies? They had a break in rehearsal. Can we take him to the back and play games with him? And then Alex came along, and the same thing happened with him. So it's truly this huge extended family. And our oldest son has actually chosen to pursue this professionally, which, that's not the case. We had 130 kids in the musical this year, Matilda, at the high school. Of those 130 kids, only a handful are going to try to go after this professionally. But Zach made the choice that this was something he wanted to do, and he's off to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York City to continue his acting, his training there. This year, with everything that's going on, he's chosen to defer for a year and just continue his training around here, and then pick up his first year next year in New York City, when hopefully there's some more artistic opportunities that open back up. But they're both great performers. They're even better kids, so they make us really proud. It's nice when your friends say, "Oh yeah, please bring the boys over. the house, we enjoy hanging out with them. We're really lucky, man. Like I
What
can't even. We're really
what
lucky.
what a special little crew and world that you've created. I mean, how amazing is that to have your kids uh, dive into the same thing that you guys love, and then have your whole family do it. Yeah, that's. I mean, I kept thinking about it, and I was like, I'll get around to saying it, but hearing about you talk about the kids and stuff, and I was like, I mean, and I've seen how, I just saw one of the latest pictures of your kids. I think it was Zach that he posted, and I mean that must be incredibly rewarding and maybe a little emotional. It's pretty insane.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
it's hugely emotional.
Yeah, that's
I
great.
think about how lucky we are all the time.
Mm.
It's always right there in my brain how fortunate my wife, myself, we are to have our family with the two boys, and then the family that the theater world has provided us. Um, because it's a it's a people always talk about the theater world being a small community, but just in the South Shore alone, it's a big community. There's tons of people, tons of artists who are involved, and seeing how the theater world impacts all these little pockets around, between the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild and the incredible work that they do for kids all across the state. The Company Theater in Norwell, who just had one of its founders, Jordy Saucerman, who was one of the two founders of the Company Theater, passed away just recently, and the the services and the outpouring of thanks to her for what she and Zoe Bradford, who created the Company Theater together, have given to this community. The arts are just they're so important, and the people involved in them that just get it out there for the kids and for other people to be a part of. They're just so important in our world right now.
Well, one thing that I'd like to do, and I mean, you can get the permission of your group, and we can talk about it. But the more talking to you, I'm like, um, I think it sounds like you have I mean, you've an inspired crew. Your message is
Yeah,
great, and I
thanks.
mean, just even by the people like Tracy just wrote, Weymouth Arts is like no other. Run Singh has been on, I think, since the beginning of this, saying, you know, she's remembering the days, but it's so she was there when your kids were young, and just watching this whole package of what is being offered. And I think that part of our whole message with Shine the Light is, we're looking to shine the light on beautiful, cool things and help lift people up. And I think that what you do needs to be celebrated, and it's in you're this is an enjoying interview. You're a nice guy. You have a lot of nice things to say. Um, one thing I don't want to overlook, your role in the guild. So I'd love to talk about that a little bit. But so I don't, I just because it crossed my mind. But I'd like to talk about possibly, like, so we did a takeover, and Zach did the takeover. Zach Owen Self-Made Designs, and he
Yep.
did a shirt printing process for us last week. So he walked through what it's like to be a screen printer, and take an idea from scratch to the end. And he's a beautiful, hardworking, nice guy, and he's got the kind of heart that we love. And we're going to be doing more takeovers, and empathy. See, Quinn just wrote empathy. That's one of my favorite things because how can we judge someone else when we're not that person?
Yep.
And I do not. I mean, that's one of my things that rubs me wrong. And um, whatever. I think teaching empathy is a beautiful thing, and it helps us to be a kinder world. But I'm getting to maybe there's a way we could do like a session of you with the kids. Like you did a video that we posted showing you talking to the kids and stuff, but maybe there's a little scene, and there could be some parents and kids that are like, yeah, well, we wouldn't mind that. It's only like you could just like a half hour or less section where
Yeah.
we you signed into Quincy Urban Arts, and you guys share what you're doing, and maybe you'll capture some more people that your infectious little world will take in.
Yeah, no, we love that. And like I said, the kids, anytime they get a chance to share like what they're passionate about and why they're so passionate about it, why it means so much to them, they'll be all over that. We're on board 100%.
We'll talk about that, and maybe before we go, I'd love to talk about the guild.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the role there, and yeah, what's your role with the guild?
So, um, a number of years ago, so the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild, the easiest way to explain it for a lot of people is most people have heard of the MIAA, the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, which is kind of like the governing body for high school sports. The METG, the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild, is kind of akin to that, but for the theater world. And it offers a myriad of opportunities for students all across the entire Commonwealth to be a part of this larger arts organization. It offers student workshops run by college professors. It offers scholarship and contests for monologues for seniors and scene partner contests for underclassmen, design contests for all of the technicians and designers and stage managers. Every single aspect of theater can be, projects can be created and brought to contest and scholarship day. There's playwriting contests. There's the Boston Arts Celebration. There are so many things that are offered by the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild. And then the flagship event, oh, and the Marquee Awards, which is kind of like the Tony Awards, but only for Massachusetts high school theater. So adjudicators come out to the high schools and provide, positive feedback on ways that your program, your actors can improve. And there's a big award ceremony at the end of the year for the entire state of Massachusetts. And then the flagship event is this event called the Massachusetts Festival. It's the High School Drama Festival, where high schools are able to enter 40-minute competition plays in kind of this NCAA style bracket. And over the
Mm.
course of a number of weeks, usually in March, it winds up paring down from 120 odd shows down to the top 14 shows in the state, which perform typically, unfortunately this year with the COVID crisis, we lost it. But the top 14 high school productions in the state perform at the John Hancock Theater in the Back Bay for state finals. And it's a 3-day celebration of the incredible arts that take place right just here in the Commonwealth. The best high school theater in the country happening in Massachusetts.
Wow.
And then this year, too, we were kicking off for the very first time an educator conference where theater educators and music educators were all going to be descending on Boston for 3 days worth of conferences and classes, things that they could use for professional development points, just to get together in this big think tank with all of these theater educators to improve the arts across the state. So a number of years ago, Weymouth and myself was asked to be part of the executive council for the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild, which I was honored and humbled to be a part of because I see what it does for so many kids across the state and how it improves arts in Massachusetts. So I've been lucky to sit on the executive council for that for the last number of years and chair their contest and scholarship day and the mentoring program. And next year, getting into the alumni outreach to help build that base. But it's a hugely, hugely important organization for theater here in Massachusetts.
Hmm. Um, it, I just can't get over I mean, the impact of having a community like this and bringing it out and putting shining light on it is super important. Um, it's
I'm glad you said that. One of the things that makes theater so special when you talked about shining the light in the Shine the Light series is so often as viewers, as people who go and patronize the arts, that spotlight hits on that one kid, that one performer who's standing downstage center and just belting their face off, emoting this incredible, the song from the show that you have been waiting to hear. And oftentimes we look at that as a singular moment. But in the theater, it's so important to remember, and this is why the community at the WHTC, at the Weymouth High Theater Company, is so important to us. Is that kid who's standing in that spotlight, that's receiving that adoration, knows that it's the work of 18 different people in that one moment that's allowing him or her or them to stand there and have the audience see them. It's your lighting technician, it's your sound technician, it's the people that are running the soundboard, it's your mic operator, it's the stage manager calling the cues, it's the costumer who put you in the costume. It takes so many people for this to happen, and that's why when we talk about our theater company, we say um, that we try to get rid of the word just. Oh, I'm just on the sound team. I'm just on costume team. I'm just on stage. There is no just. You are an important cog in this thing, and every single moment in a theatrical production belongs to every single one of those kids. Like you put up one of the videos, the time lapse of them building the house
yeah.
for Noises Off, which is it's this gigantic set. I mean, 17 walls, 8 doors. Some of the kids on our team for that competition piece, that was their specific job, was to build that house. Their specific job was to bring door number 3 out from stage right, get it in its spot, get it set, locked into place and safe. They know that they own that show. That entire show belongs as much to that kid who moved door 3 as it belongs to the kid who gets to stand in the light and say the funny joke, or the kid who gets to have the audience clap for them at the end. All of our kids know that in a theatrical production, the whole thing belongs to everybody, because it takes everybody's job to make that one singular moment that the audience sees happen. So,
It's um, this is a celebration of Donnie Norton today, and what makes it more important to celebrate you is the fact that we've done this interview, and you have not been very me. You've been you've been celebrating your world, and I think that that's really commendable. And I think that you deserve some spotlight. You deserve some love, and um, that's a very encouraging thing for me. And I'm as I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you, because you got a lot going on. I I can't help but reflect on my time and what I'm doing, and I'm happy to be spending this time with you, because I want my life to be surrounded by people who are doing good things, and our kids are our future. Our time is important for us as adults, and to be doing kind, loving things more often than not, or inspirational things, is amazing. And I think that what does Team Teeth mean? Um, but it's it's a very encouraging world that you're presenting, and I'm happy for the kids that are involved, and I'm looking forward to maybe embracing you guys a little more with Quincy Urban Arts District, because we're looking to build a big family that's not just one type of thing. It's like an openness for everybody, every discipline. It could be a science teacher, it could be a
Yeah.
restaurateur, it could be whatever, but to really bring out the things that are beautiful. And I do, there's another team teether, but I really do
My dental
love,
hygienist will be happy. So
what's that?
my dental hygienist will be happy with the the teeth shout outs.
Well,
So
tell me the teeth. What is the teeth? Is it because you're all smiles?
yeah, that's basically the a couple of the staff people and they have, it's a long joke about just, Donnie, you'll just smile and it'll come together. So people will say, okay, we'll go with it. I don't
Well,
I
hold on, you got a beautiful smile,
thanks,
and
buddy.
you know what? It's even in your pictures, you smile a lot, and I see that you you don't seem afraid to be in the moment, even through your pictures. So I'm sure you're able to teach that moment and to enjoy your moments and show others how to do it. And you're nothing but a pleasure to talk to. And I'm really looking forward to doing more stuff. And I'm thankful that you came on. And
Thank you, man.
everybody give some love to Donnie Norton and his whole crew. What a pleasure it was talking to you. And if you're around tonight, he's at Ocho in Weymouth. And what's your next gig after that?
Oh, let's see. The next gig after that is actually we're just working on our summer theater camp. That's coming to a close. We don't know yet if we're going to be able to do any kind of like outdoor event or if we're just going to be taping this year. We had our dancing with the kids with their masks on, and we have this big beautiful space with squares on the floor where the kids are all being able to be apart but still um, making art. So that's the focus right now, and then I'll be booking again starting in August, but haven't booked anything yet just because you know we needed to focus on finishing up our A Taste of Broadway this year, and then it'll be on to the next thing. So hopefully a whole lot more outdoor singing throughout August.
Well,
Um,
that sounds awesome, and I'm just looking at it. I mean, I love the support that you have. It seems like a beautiful group that you got. They like your hair and
it's
your and your teeth. It's a lot of love for the Donnie man. But I think that you know we'll be keeping our eye out for you. I'll talk to you
yeah, man.
after at some point, and we'll discuss how else we can implement you guys into our fold, so we can give you a little bit of love. But congratulations on being a good human and doing cool things, and
Thank you, man.
having your family be a part of it, and having your family grow into the Weymouth High Theater Club too and beyond. Like kudos to you, and I'm looking forward. I'll have to come check out one of these solo gigs.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
It's about love.
yeah.
We tell the kids we love them, tell the people around you you love them, and because that love breeds the safety that lets people try stuff, and without trying new things you're not learning things. So
Oh, I
we tell our kids we love them all the time, and we tell the parents we love them all the time because we love them. So
oh, look at that. Best human and family. I mean, these are really. I mean, these are amazing
ah
things to say. But to be honest, you obviously you deserve it. So
I
it's
owe
a
each of them $5 after this is over. Probably I'm gonna have to go through and pay everybody $5 on Venmo.
well, it's an amazing accomplishment to make people think about you in such a way. So I am very happy that I spent my time talking to you, and Quincy Urban Arts thanks you for joining us, and Weymouth High Theater Club. We're excited to talk to you guys a little bit more and learn about your crew. So we'll have to get in there and talk to you. So
Come on in,
everybody,
man.
much love to Donnie Norton, and we'll talk to you soon, brother.
Thanks, buddy. Best of luck to you and your family, man. We're
Thank you.
thinking about you.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you so much. You did a great job.
Be good.
Love it,
Love
man.
you out there, guys. Bye. Thank you.
See you.